Hey, I'm Angie.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're
Happy, Healthy, Vegan.
AF.
Sure, most of you guys have seen plenty of videos recently on YouTube. People coming out responding to the why I'm leaving vegan videos. We're not going to be influenced by them. We're just going to really share with you the reasons why we're vegan, why we're still vegan, why we're not leaving vegan.
First thing I have to say is why am I vegan? Because I'm vegan. That's why I'm still vegan.
Exactly, yeah. Nothing has changed about us morality or ethics-wise. We're vegan. That's why we're still vegan, because we're vegan.
It's not something we got into to be trendy or fashionable. It's something we did because we really feel it in our heart and soul. It's something we believe in. And it's something that we've also seen great results from on top of that fact.
Yeah, just like a nice side benefit of veganism. So I know a lot of you guys haven't been watching us for 4 years. About that time period, we made some videos sharing our vegan story. So you're going to hear some of that here.
Yeah.
I've talked about this many times on my live stream. I flirted with going vegetarian in the early 1990s. Unfortunately, I was living at home. I didn't have control of my cooking and meals, so it lasted a few months. But once you and I started dating, you're vegetarian.
Vegetarian, yeah.
Yeah, that was in 1999, 2000. By virtue of living with her, I was not really eating much of any in the house in the way of meat, unless I snuck it in myself or something like that.
Ew.
Yeah, but you'd still see me having eggs and cheese. Time came in 2010 when I just drew a line in the sand. It's screw this. No more animal products whatsoever. No meat, no dairy, no eggs, no anything. I mean, if I really believe in what I believe, morally about animals, how it's wrong for us to use animals, exploit them for food and products, I'm just not participate in that. So I just said, I'm gonna be vegan. I'm gonna proudly call myself vegan, and haven't looked back since.
Yeah, I had been really vegan curious when I met you, because products were starting to come into Trader Joe's had all the tofu stuff and the soy milk and all soy cheese and all these different things. The products were starting to come out.
It's around 2000, year 2000, guys. It was a little tougher. By the time I finally said I'm going vegan in 2010, that's when it actually was really easy. I was starting to go to restaurants that had vegan options and more products in the stores. That's really, I think, one of the huge things that convinced me. I go, this is easy.
Yeah,
it was a lot harder trying it in 2000, but 2010, it's even easier now, guys, in 2019.
So yeah, it's easy. So it wasn't because you saw a documentary or read a book or saw a show or anything
or an Instagram model. No.
Okay, so things were quite a bit different in 1984 from how they are now. Like you said, no Instagram models, no YouTube videos, no Netflix documentaries, none of that stuff.
No internet of any kind.
No. So how I heard about vegetarianism was from a 45 vinyl since 1984 here.
A band spreading the message.
Yeah, so this little record here, I won't take it out right now. I've shown it on past episodes, but there's a big poster in here that gives a lot of information
about animal exploitation.
And then somehow I got this flyer to What's Wrong with McDonald's. It's really dense with information. But so between the record and this flyer here, and a flyer that's inside the record, I really learned about big ag meat production is affecting other countries and the planet
and the environment. Yeah.
So me and two other friends that were all punk rock together in San Pedro, we made a pledge. Everyone would go to this one place called McCowan's, and they would get chicken and maybe potato logs for lunch. We're not eating that chicken anymore. We're only getting the potato logs.
Yeah.
So that's where it started.
Good.
Wrote into PETA for some information. They sent animal rights. Why should it concern me? So I learned more from there. And
that's cool. I had no idea PETA was around as an information resource in the 80s.
Look here, you guys. Go vegetarian. They weren't even vegan back then. So that's it. So I got a subscription to Vegetarian Times, and I started learning how to cook vegetarian. Meat stinks. Okay, my boyfriend and I would go, we'd stick meat stinks on the packets of meat when no one was looking. So there was a health food store that I could walk to from my house. So I'd go up there to find out about products. Back then, veggie burgers, you had to use this dry mix and add water to it and fry it in a frying pan. And I think that's when I first heard about tofu scramble. There's a packet of stuff I think they still sell it. You can add to tofu and fry that up. What else?
Things have sure changed.
Yeah. When they started to have sliced fake meats in the health food store, they would all have egg whites and stuff. And veggie burgers would have cheese in it. Like, that's just how it was in the 80s. So weird to me that in the 80s, vegetarian was what veganism is today. So we thought we were like being really great by not eating animals.
And that is great. That is really great.
It was a good start, for sure.
Add to something you were saying there. I know you've expressed regrets to me that you didn't go vegan any sooner. That you didn't see this in 1984. I just want to commend you. Like, no, as you said, you're like cutting edge in 1984. You know, it's like vegan was not the people's awareness really back then. You know, and it was much more difficult. You know, now it's super easy to be vegan. Super easy. Way easier than it was to be vegetarian in the 80s.
So what I don't think I shared in my vegan stories in the past are actually the fanzines that I used to create, and I've got quite a few of them actually.
And in these, she got to sneak in her animal activism. Back in the 80s, back in around 86, 87.
It was just a part of who I was. So, I think this was 87. Positive Influence. It was a fanzine about local straight edge bands and crustcore and stuff like that. Like, just bands from Orange County and LA for the most part. And, oh my gosh, you guys know Rancid. I used to be friends with Tim when he was in Operation Ivy. Anyways, so here we go. I would have articles like this. Veg Edge.
That sounds like Straight Veg, our buddy.
I know, it really does. And we wanted to say that there was a connection between being, straight edge and being vegetarian. When we would interview bands, we would often ask them if they were vegetarian.
Wow.
And that was a standard question. We'd ask them what their stance was on vegetarianism. Issue 4. Vivisection.
Oh, yeah.
Scientific fraud. Thanks to the Zed guys for giving us the books and pamphlets on vivisection, including Vivisection, the Scientific Fraud, where we use some info from. There we go. We had to get pamphlets and books back then to learn about things. My musical taste changed. So I was getting into industrial music and some goth and stuff like that. But I still kept it up. This one I interviewed a band called Stereotaxic Device, which, as you know, is something they use to hold an animal still while they test on their brain.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And the girl from this band, she actually... I don't know if you remember Skinny Puppy, but...
I didn't know they were vegetarian or vegan. Skinny Puppy?
Yeah. It was one of the reasons why I liked them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I gave them, they talked for a long time about, they're like, we don't want to preach to, the choir, but we just want to encourage you to, go out there and get information about this. And so Sam wrote a piece on how his dad... forced him to go hunting. It's called Plug Your Ears, Boy, a short piece of nonfiction. Whew. Yeah, it was horrible for him. I know there was other stuff, but I didn't want to spend all day going on all my fanzines. It could be a half-hour video, too. I know. Let's check all of Anji's fanzines. So there we go. So that's my history, but okay, so how did I segue out of decades of vegetarianism into veganism? I mean, first of all, I just felt like that I should. But weirdly, it was a health issue that I was having that got me to really get super serious about eliminating it completely. It was I don't know, I think it was in 2008 I started to have a lot of health issues. I started having allergies to everything. Try to get medical advice to figure out why I was having all these issues, and nobody could help me. So one thing I hadn't even put together ever since I was a kid, I'd had really bad eczema on both hands. That's why my skin looks so crazy, because I've been using cortisone creams for decades. So on top of the hand problem I already had, I was also having a problem with eye allergies. My eyes were all puffed up, and I was having a lot of problems with IBS, I guess you'd call it. I was in a bad state. I actually started looking into elimination diets. Eggs and dairy were 2 of the top triggers. So I'm like, okay, great, eliminate those. Tried eliminating things like tomatoes, chocolate, coffee, wine, blah, blah, blah. And then after I felt well, then I started bringing things back in, but I didn't bring the
animal products.
I didn't bring the eggs and dairy back in. Those are gone for good. Gone for good. And what I found was eating a whole food plant-based diet actually made me feel much better. My eczema has been completely gone. I just thought that I had to have that problem forever, but we literally threw the creams away in one of the vlogs.
It's sad how the doctors never once recommend, you could try going vegan and see what happens, and neither with the dermatologist with your allergies, nothing. Nobody. So anyway, that's how I ended up being totally vegan. I already wanted to, but then I just got that final push. And then finally, just physically, you're feeling better.
Yeah. And then when you said I want to be completely vegan, I was like, great, we're gonna look at all of the ingredient list now.
Yeah.
Like, so we're going to be really
once
solid.
I got on board, you said, yeah, you took it too. Let's go 100%,
let's go.
both of us. Yeah, we haven't looked back since.
And then we started to get more information from the internet and from...
Yeah, that's when we started learning about the environmental benefits, the health benefits, the stuff that you see us talking about so frequently on the show. But I don't think most of you guys realize how it really goes back to us from an animal rights point of view. That's what attracts us and attracted us originally to veganism.
Which is why I'm so sad that I didn't stop, with all the eggs and dairy sooner. I mean, I didn't eat a lot of it, but just having any of it was bad for me, and it's bad for them.
So a lot of people might be wondering, why are you wearing this Duran Duran shirt for?
Because they're awesome.
Well, yeah.
The fact remains that a lot of people do go vegan for weight loss and maintenance, and that I've met a lot of you guys that have told me about how much weight you did lose following our advice, making the food from my cookbook, Keep It Carb Baby, and just, embracing a whole foods plant-based diet. So I know that it actually does work and it's real. And I mean, for what it's worth, I bought this shirt, when the album came out.
1982.
I may have gotten it in 83, and it still fits me today.
Isn't that amazing?
And it's size small, by the way.
You have another Duran Duran shirt, too.
I have several.
That you wear still, from those early 80s.
Yeah. I think part of the secret of me maintaining my size, size small or extra small shirts and size small, yoga pants, is the fact that I gave up meat.
And I can speak for myself, too. I'm a bit more svelte now, too, as a vegan than I was before. I didn't even get into, the just mountain of science that shows the healthfulness of plant-based diets. Like in Dr. Garth Davis's book here, Proteinaholic, which I recommend, hundreds and hundreds of studies in the references here showing the healthfulness of eating plants and the opposite effect of what happens when you eat animal products.
Yep.
So it's just a win-win-win. It's a win for the animals. It's a win for your health. It's a win for the environment. There's just nothing negative. There's nothing negative about going vegan. There's no argument I've ever seen presented to me that brings veganism down a notch.
So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, got something out of it.
This is why we're vegan. Yeah. Hopefully, you understand where we're coming from a little bit better and understand why we are so passionate about doing what we do here, spreading the information, the true information and facts about plant-based diet.
Anyway, so I would love to know why you're still vegan. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, why are you vegan? This is our story. Let us know what inspired you to go vegan. And until next time, guys, remember, it doesn't suck being vegan.